Hey guys, welcome back. AURABOMB here, bringing you our Shoutmon list. This is probably one of the most fun decks to play, especially for all my red fans out there. I know quite a few red fans. So Shoutmon is the insano red build of this format. It does so much for so easily. I have just had a game yesterday versus Lord Nightmon, actually yesterday versus Lord Nightmon, where I was both able to take all of their security and delete their level 5s on the board at the same time. It was insane. So I love this deck. So not only did I remove their security, like eviscerated their security, I also cleared their board so there was no Lord Nightmon the following turn. It was fun. It was a good game. Quite great. Shout out to all my friends that are playing, like Sean. But anyways, let's go ahead and go over this deck list. Like usual, like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, share all that good jazz. We're going to be going over the cards I'm playing, why I'm playing them, and the cards I'm not playing, and why you can play them if you like. But of course, I'm going for Coromon because you do pretty much have big stacks all the time in this deck. My stack gain comes from here. If you have 4 or more Digivolution cards, it gains 1,000. Super easy to do in this deck. And then of course, 1 Digimon because it gains 1,000 if you have 5 or if your opponent has 5 or more cards in their trash, which is pretty easy enough to do. This could really be any other egg once again, because Coromon is usually the egg that will get its effect off, but more options are good. Let's go over the rookies. Some of the most important cards in this deck because it sets you up. And it's also some of the least important cards in this deck, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, why that makes sense. But let's go over the build. This is going to be kind of controversial because a lot of other people are saying not to do this, but I disagree with them. And that's going to be 4 Agumon and 4 Shoutmon. I, at least, for the very least, play 4 Shoutmon. Shoutmon has reveal the top 5 cards of your deck, add a Digimon with Shoutmon in its name. This one, Omni Shoutmon or Shoutmon DX. So you have 3 targets. And a Digimon with Blitz, which is Risegreymon, Omni Shoutmon, and Omnimon. Shoutmon DX, not Omni Shoutmon. So you have 3 targets for that. If you play 4 of each of them, that's like 12 targets, 24 targets in total. You probably shouldn't do all that, but if you do, there you go. Quite a few targets in this deck. This deck should land a lot, and not only should it land a lot, it should land throughout the game because that's a lot of targets. Some people say that it's no point in playing a lot of these because you'll fizzle out, but you have a lot of targets in your deck, and even if it does fizzle out, who cares? Like it's still a rookie that's keeping you consistent throughout the game, specifically the early game, so you can find them early game. So you really want to play a high amount of. I really don't think. Like, you could play other rookies if you want. There's a lot of different rookies in red that you could play to gain you power or do some other shenanigans. But in reality, you win the game through getting the big stack. And to get the big stack, you got to find the cards. And to find the cards, these cards help. This one will help you find Greymons and Omnimons. There's only 2 Omnimons, but there's a Greymon of every level, except for level 3, I guess. Yeah, and level 7. At least not yet. So there's a lot of targets for Agumon to find a Greymon and an Omnimon. So once again, this will help you throughout the game, finding you level 4, 5, and a 6. So good cards are good play cards. If you don't want to play 4 of each, I get it. A lot of people have told you that they fizzle out throughout the game. It's unnecessary to find them. You'd rather play other rookies. I personally do not feel that way, but you know what, to each their own. No big deal. 3 Biomon and 3 Monodramon. That is it. Just some memory control, make the board wider so you can win the game in 1 turn kind of cards. For a total of, 8 plus 6 is 14 rookies. 14 rookies is good. If you want to play more rookies, easy enough to do. Just you can make cuts where you want to make cuts. As far as the other rookies you can play, Agumon, Power Increaser, 2000 DP for your Greymon. Really only good on Risegreymon. So that's kind of just okay. I guess it's good on your lower level Greymons as well if you want to swing early with them. Generally don't recommend that, but it's an option. This one, another power gainer. I don't need power gainers as much as most people would think. I mean, Shoutmon already gains 2000 DP if you have Blitz, which is what you're attacking with anyways. So in a lot of the times you'll be gaining 2000 DP already. That's already really good. You don't need more than that. You also have the egg. You also have a level 4 and a level 5. That can help you gain power as well. So you have lots of power gainers already. Really unnecessary to play more, which is why I'm not playing Agumon. The one that I'm really interested in is Biomon. Biomon lets you, if you delete a Digimon through battle, draw 1 card. And Shoutmon lets you attack unsuspended Digimon. So you can actually draw a few cards with Biomon. I don't feel like you need to, because once you have the Shoutmon out, it's really unnecessary to draw. at least most of the time, it will be unnecessary to draw. So I don't play it for now, but it is an option, and it's probably my favorite option out of all the ones I've showed you so far. Just drawing cards is good. It's never not good. So that's it for the rookies. Let's move on. I'm gonna try to make the video short since the last one was really long. There is a lot of champions in red, and I'm gonna go over all of them. First things first, security attack +1 Greymon helps you get that OTK. Greymon +1 security, great card. 2 Dark Tyrannomon, because Dark Tyrannomon has 6000 DP, 1 cost to evolve. This is the one I'd play more of if you want to make cuts, but because like 6000 DP, we've already talked about in every video why it's good to have more than 5k DP at the moment, and 1 cost to evolve is good as well. 2 Quadramon and 2 Monochromon. Like I mentioned before, in case of like Shoutmon and in case of Nightmon plus an attack, like I want to make sure I have these higher cost blockers, but I still want the 1 cost to evolve because it's so good to have 1 cost to evolve. So that's why I'm playing the split. This is generally what I've been doing. You can always adjust how you play blockers in your own way, depending on how you feel, whether it's a meta call, you can play, if you don't think you're gonna see a lot of Shoutmon, you can always play like more of the 5k guys, but even against Nightmon, 5k is not great, and you're always gonna see Nightmon, so there's that. And then for the other dudes I'm playing the Greymon with 2k DP that gives you 2k DP, because that 2k DP is nice. It actually helps your Shoutmon beat over level 5s, or level 7s I mean, as well as like really insane Nightmons in case you need to do that, which does happen sometimes because Nightmon gets all that DP from having big boards, which you'll usually be decreasing it naturally by deleting dudes on the board, but you know what I'm saying. 2k DP is nice sometimes versus like, bigger decks. So I like having the 2k DP. If you don't like it, first of all, try it. Second of all, it's only 4 costs to play, which is really nice as well. And third of all, if you don't like it, you can cut it. Replace it with more other stuff that you might want to play, or maybe with like more rookies or more options. There's a lot of things you can replace in this deck very easily. There's a lot of other cards you can play in this deck. So you can easily replace these cards. And of course, the last card I'm playing is a Gunimon, because we are playing Tamers, and I like having the surprise, boom, a Gunimon, win the game kind of option. But you don't really need this card. You can cut this one as well if you don't want it. But I like it because, it's always nice to your opponent to account for your plays, but then forget the hybrid Digimon that can evolve and do its thing. Other level 4s that exist that you can play. I've seen some people play this Greymon. This Greymon is cool. You have a lot of Agumons, and you could easily play more Agumons to make this Greymon active, getting security attack +1, usually having like 7k power because of Agumon's inheritable. It's cool for early game rush. This is its own deck in set 6, so personally I wouldn't even bother. But definitely get these if you don't have them already. They're going to be expensive if they're not already expensive. Other level 4s you can play are this Greymon, just because it becomes cheap to evolve. And also gives you 2000 power, but only your Omnimons and Greymons, which is its own problem, so that's why I'm not playing it. But hey, there's more level 4 options in case you're curious. Level 5s are insane in this deck. First things first, for Omni Shoutmon, it's searchable, that's why I'm playing 4 of it. It also can evolve from your Shoutmon, so if you're bricking, if you can't find level 4s, you go level 3, then level 5, then level 6. It's kind of nice. Sometimes you're in that situation. So having an out to it is really cool. And of course, if you have Blitz, you have security attack +1. All of your attackers in level 6 or higher have Blitz, so having that security attack +1 is good. And of course, it pairs well with the DX to delete some dudes on the board as well. So I am playing 4 of these because you want 4 of them for sure. This card has been overperforming for me, and this is Risegreymon. At first, I was like, do I like this Risegreymon? But ever since I put it in, it has put in insano work. This card's nuts. It actually makes me want to play more Tamers in this deck, just so I can activate Risegreymon more often. First things first, that is Digiburst 2. It doesn't really vibe with what you're trying to do in this deck, which is big stacks. But if you need to play it to get a free Tamer down, you can, because it is Digiburst to play a Tamer from your hand for free. And then its win attacking skill is the main reason why you want to play this. If you have a Tamer down, one of your opponents get minus 2000 DP. So Shoutmon DX has the ability to delete things with 5000 DP. I guess we can show it real quick, right? You may, when Digivolving, you may play 1 red Digimon card from your hand on top of this Digimon's Digivolution card. Then for each Omni Shoutmon or Z Greymon's Digimon's Digivolution sources, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or DP or less. 5000 DP or less. I'm sorry, I'm tongue twisted. But it also has Blitz. So the way this interaction works, right, is that you evolve in the Omni Shoutmon. You attack with Blitz because that's its ability. Then, because you get to choose the order of effects happening, you still are, during your attack is also during your win Digimon when Digivolution timing. So you attack with Blitz, you give something minus 2k DP, and then you do the deletion effect with Shoutmon. So if your opponent has a level 5 that is 7000 DP, i.e. Wargreymon and Nightmon, they become 5000 DP, which then you can delete them using Shoutmon's deletion skill. This card has been overperforming for that reason. And getting me free tamers, yeah, great card. Love this card. It's also a Greymon, so it's searchable with Agumon. So love this card. Another card that's great, Metal Greymon giving you plus 3000 DP. It's also an attacker. You very rarely do it because it is minus 5 memory to attack, but I mean, it is security attack plus 2, and then you do get usually a power booster and more security attack. So you can check 4 security with this card with like 12,000 DP. That's pretty good at the cost of 5 memory. Sometimes it's just like, let me pass my turn with this insano attack, most likely survive, and then win the game the following turn. It does happen sometimes. So, but mostly use it for the 3000 DP to make sure you can beat over some other dudes. And of course, I'm playing 2 Groundtramon. In this day and age, having 6k DP is pretty okay because there's a lot less Yellow Wargreymon. It's 5 cost to play, cheap in case you break and need to play them down as well. As far as other level 5s you can play, Volcanic Dramon gives you security attack plus 1. This is usually enough, that's why I cut this card. And then Lava Greedamon is more power, which will actually help you attack security if you need to early game as well. But I am choosing not to play it, but you can very easily play this card. It's easily substitute the Ground Dramon if you feel like you're gonna find your chain enough to where, I like this because you can hard play it for relatively cheap, unlike this card. But you know, if you want to attack, this is probably better. But let's go over the megas. We have Risegreymon and Shoutmon DX. 4 of each. I was really playing 3 and 3, but I just like having 4. 4 is consistent. It's searchable. Once again, it has Blitz, so you can attack. And inheritable is you can attack unsuspended Digimon if you have Blitz. It's 11k DP. It's searchable with all of your searching cards. So overall, play 4, that way you can find it. And of course, Shoutmon DX, we already talked about it. We literally just finished talking about it, so there's not any point in talking about it again. But it does have Blitz, it does delete things. You can make yourself have bigger stacks by adding a Risegreymon or Omni Shoutmon from your hand to its stack, or actually adding any red card from your hand to its stack, but specifically Risegreymon and Omni Shoutmon let you delete Digimon on the board, which is why I play it. So 4 costs to evolve from a level 5, 2 costs to evolve from a level 6, so you can stack these over and over and over again on top of each other, which is really nice for really cheap costs. And of course, Blitz is Blitz. And might as well go over the Shoutmons while we're here, because we do have 2 Blitz Omnimon, which are searchable with the Agumon that we talked about earlier, and with the Shoutmon because it has Blitz. We already know what it does. You can prevent yourself from being destroyed by effects by putting back level 6s to your hand, which you can do multiple times if you have multiple level 6s underneath, which is really nice. And Blitz, and you can unsuspend, so you can attack multiple times. It's just overall really good because you can have multiple security and just finish the game off with this card. And more importantly, look at this, look at this, look at this matching artwork, baby. It looks so good. Look at it, it's so cool. Anyways, once again, always as easily entertained. That's it for the megas. Let's go ahead and talk about the rest of the cards. Not much else to talk about. I guess we can talk about the, I don't know why I always put my cards everywhere and not together. It makes the video look gross. Let's talk about all the other options we could play as far as megas and ultimates go. Ultras go. Wargreymon, in case security control gets nuts, this is just another option you can play. I personally think security control is going to get nuts, so be ready for that, because security control beats Lord Nightmon. Security control beats a lot of decks. It's just a good deck. It's usually the answer to whenever decks like Lord Nightmon become overpowered, so be ready for that. As far as the megas go, X Antibody isn't terrible in this deck. Shoutmon kind of already does what X Antibody does do though, so it's okay. Other Omnimons, you can play either one of these Omnimons. They're both pretty good. This is board clear, which is great versus Lord Nightmon, because Lord Nightmon summons a lot of rookies, which you can delete with this guy. And also, it has to attack, which means it's going to be rested during your turn, which means that Ultra S will be able to put it back in the bottom of the deck. Well, no, that's Nidhoggmon. My bad. It de-digivolves though, which is good. And then you have, of course, good old standard Omnimon, for its ability to clear a lot of guys on the board and also attack 2 times, which is good for like the following turn if you're looking to win the game that way. So more Omnimons. And actually, one more card to mention, these are all doable thanks to this combo. If you want to play, I'm not playing this combo right now, but if you play these Omnimon, and any of these Omnimon, especially this one. This combo is good, bro. I would recommend trying it out. I haven't tried it out myself yet, but on paper it's pretty decent. Play Takumi, draw you more cards, evolve into Omnimon using Mega Digimon Fusion. Mega Digimon Fusion, this guy evolves, you get the multiple deletion skill, and then the you get to attack twice, usually with a lot of security checks. So actually, this card alone can win you the game the same turn that you get the combo going. So definitely a decent option. It becomes a little bit clunky because now you're playing these like combo pieces, which are harder to find. Like you can find the Omnimon, but you can't exactly search these cards. So it's an option. It might be fun if you want to try it out. I already have a list for it on the channel in like the 15 best decks for this format. So if you want to look at that for inspiration, you can. But because I used to play it a while ago back in Japan format, and that was a lot of fun. But I wouldn't recommend it if you're going to a tournament because you're bricking super hard, or unless you get a lot of like practice in and you can figure out what the best ratios are. As far as the rest of the cards go, 2 tie and 2 a delicate plan. I will stand a delicate plan to the end of the earth. There's so much security control where I play, and there's so many like security bombs that can mess you up. So having a delicate plan in a deck that checks all your security, all of your opponent's security in one turn, it feels like a natural addition. And then tie, I really want to play 3, dude. Maybe I'll play 3 in the future because of how great Risegreymon is. I might even play 3 Risegreymon, we'll see. But tie is good, it gives you an extra security attack if you have 4 more Digivolution cards underneath your dude, which is easy to do since Shoutmon keeps adding them. So overall, that's the red deck. Not really much else to talk about. I don't play security bombs in this deck because Shoutmon has the ability, or Shoutmon DX, if you have Blitz underneath it, Zgreymon I mean, can attack Digimon. So you have a removal option in an attack. You also have a removal option in the delete thing on Digivolve. I feel like there's enough removal with just that guy alone that I don't want to play Transcended Sword. I don't want to play Gaia Force, Plasma Strike. Although Plasma Strike is definitely a lot stronger this format, just because of the nature of Lord Nightmon. It increases power based on having Digimon on the board, so it should have 13,000 DP pretty often, which means you can remove a Lord Nightmon for only 4 if you're playing these cards specifically to remove Lord Nightmon. But if you're not, it's fine. The Gaia Force, Gaia Force, and Transcendent Sword is usually enough. But thank you guys all for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you haven't already. Subscribe, share, all that good jazz. You guys know how much I appreciate all of you. Let me know in the comments below what decks you want to see next. I'm not going to record a video for like another few days. I think I have this, Lilith, and I already recorded Hexablaumon already. So that's 3 videos. So I'm just going to wait for you guys' comments to see what you guys want to see me record next. And I'll see you guys next time.